Please let me hear some of your great stories that I know you have.
Oh, sure, 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 sure. Yeah, I started acting at age 11. I was 11 years old. I was in a school play, and one of my friends, their mother, she accompanied Broadway theater, and she volunteered to play the piano for us. This was a musical called Free to Be You and Me. She heard me sing, and she brought to my parents' attention that they were looking for an understudy on the Broadway show Shenandoah. And I auditioned for it and got the part of the understudy. Then, then, as fate would have it, um, when you're a child, you grow up. So the boy ahead of me, my good friend Brent Carter, he grew up. He was getting too tall for the part. His voice was changing, so they had to move on. And I eventually took over the role. So I made my Broadway debut in 1976. Got to work with uh, John Cullum of all people. What a great guy he is. I then after I was doing commercials and doing the kids thing and doing the Broadway thing, and my voice got tired out. I sang a lot of the. I sang two songs and they were high, so my voice got tired out. They thought my voice was changing, so they let me go. I eventually, the following year in 1977, I auditioned for Shenandoah, the road tour, and I got to perform with Howard Keel,
Oh
and
wow.
he and I also got to perform before the newly elected then James Earl Carter. So you're a 13-year-old kid and you've been in elementary school and junior high school. All you've been taught is American history, and here you are performing for a sitting president of the United States. That was something for me.
Just incredible. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then, as you know, back then, I mean, my claim to fame was a enslaved show. So that's what it was back then. There were no parts for a, a, a person of my color. So it, the jobs started drying out, and I was so saddened, but
Mm.
I was able to go to the High School of Performing Arts in New York City, and I got my groove back. It was a great experience. It was almost like going to college. It was almost like
Yeah.
going to for gifted kids. And we walked around in leotards and acted all day long. And then we also had our academics. But just to be on a campus with people that want the same thing, and there were no boundaries. We all no specific part for somebody. You earn that part, so that's your part. It might not be the description you are, but you earn the part. But that was so wonderful, that experience. And my school, they did a movie about my school, Fame,
Oh yeah.
and most of us that went to that school were able to be in the movie, and that was great. That was a great time filming that movie, and it's so exciting because it's a film about your school and how your day went, and it's there forever. As I say, Fame, I'm going to live forever. It's there forever. What a great time. And then it dried out. Then there were no roles for me or anything, so I had to change up a little bit. I had to get a career, so I became a cop of all things.
Well,
But being a cop and acting, that saved my butt many a time, because I later on in my career I was an undercover cop, and I would improvise and
uh,
act in sticky situations, And if I could not act, I probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah, that was right in your wheelhouse. You know, that was right there where you needed to be at that moment. And thank goodness you never gave up the hope, and you kept with the grind, because look at where you're at now, David. And yeah, you're successful. You're a great actor. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Ricky. You know, it's just so amazing that I took the chance to start doing background work.
Oh yeah.
And many people are saying, you know, you don't want to be a background, you don't want to be an extra. I said, no, I'm a background artist. There's a difference. You could be an extra, but there's a difference to being a background artist. And what they don't get is you're acting. It doesn't matter. We need to act. We have to act. That's why we're featured all the time in the shows that we're in.
Exactly.
You know, we could be background, but we're usually the featured people because they know who can act. They do. And it's been amazing. If I never do another film, the last 4 or 5 years has done my soul so much good. It really has.
I agree 100%.
Hey, David, before I forget, I wanted to ask you, how many years were you a state policeman?
I was a state trooper and investigator for 24 years. 24 years. And I was able to get out when I was in the young part, and I was going to retire, and then got the acting bug. Somebody challenged me, and I said, I'll take that challenge, and haven't stopped since.
Well, I think you kept on fighting crime, though.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Oh my goodness.
I was a superhero, Badger Man, in a film called Bonnie and Freud. That was a fun time. We did some special effects that I really enjoyed getting into in that fight scene.
Oh, man,
Oh.
I love that, David. That's a great. I love that the stash on that thing. Oh, what a great.
Yes, sir.
As an honor to my brother that just recently passed, but that was from that Hulu special, Reprisal.
Oh,
Remember
okay.
that one?
Yeah, I worked with Prisel, but yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the 70s. Yeah, you know, the 70 era really with that look. That
Right.
was
I love the 70s. And there's the Earls, and that was on the set of the Underground Railroad. I enjoyed doing that. That was almost a month of filming. Very emotional set.
Yeah, those period pieces are so great. Oh, there's another great. What a great shot that is. Yeah.
Oh, that's one of my favorite shots. That's still the Underground Railroad, and of course, you see there's Kenny, our good friend Kenny. Yeah, we were even roommates filming that movie, and I love that picture. I have that up on my wall in black and white. It's such a great picture. It's a wonderful time filming that movie. And that's Lovecraft Country with Mr. Mateo, one of our friends.
Oh yes, yes.
That was Lovecraft Country. That was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, before the riots happened, and they were flashbacking to that.
Was that filmed in Savannah, David? That one?
That was Macon. And there I am with Mateo again. That's the 24th. That he was a soldier. I told him my method in acting is that you're my son, and he was being brought to be hung. So I told him my method in this is you're my son, and that's how I'm going to use the emotion for when I'm on the set.
Yeah. Well, we pass along things to others. Sometimes they're they're smart enough to listen. Some people think they have all the answers, but you know as well as I do, the creative arts and juices, they just kind of, they flow at the moment. You know, it's not always planned. It's better when it's not planned and it comes out, you know.
Yes. Oh, and there's Mr. Mercedes. And of course, you know who the man next to me is. And during that time, I found out he went to my high school.
Oh,
That was crazy. He went to my high school. So one day, on the first day on set with him, when he was a judge and I was a juror, I said, hey, I went to the high school performing arts too. He said, oh, really? You look young. You look young. You must have went to that new school in Lincoln Center. I said, oh no, I went to the original, 120 West 46th Street. He said, oh really? Who was your teachers? I said, Madam Shine. He looked at me with this guy ain't bullshitting. and he just gave me that look, and we became friends after that moment. You know, that's amazing. You know,
oh yeah.
Meet somebody with his prestige that went to high school, probably had the same locker you did at one time, and sat in the same classrooms.
Yeah, how ironic is that?
And oh, there's Vivian, our good friend Vivian. That was from The Eyes of Tammy Faye. I got lucky on that one. All of my parts, I feel I just got lucky. Yeah. But that's a good one. I was a featured PTL singer, and quite good screen time on that one. Good screen time on that one. And my singing from my younger years must have proven to give me that part. Yeah. So that was good. Yeah. That was cool. And Hollywood, if you notice, the films that I'm in, they're always award winners, Academy Awards, Tony Awards, and Golden Globes, etc. So I think you need David Vann Williams in a lot more than what's going on.
I think there's something to that, David. 46 market.
Same question to you, Dave. Memorable actor that you may have worked with that left an impression?
Yes. When I came back into acting, the first show I did was Escape at Dannemora. Ben Stiller directed it, and everyone knows him for being comical and all of that. And to watch him direct this show, because I was in it quite a bit, it was amazing to see him work at it. And I remember one time my mother said that his parents were at the show because she's excited because here's Stiller and Mira are coming to see me, and that's one of her idols of that generation. So I was speaking to one of the crew members that I became friends with, and told him the story how I was actually in Fame with his mother. And then I also told the story about my mom saying that his parents were there. So he came over to me one time. He set me up. They set me up. So he came over and he said, were you in Fame with my mom? His eyes lit up, and I said, yes. And I explained which scene I was in and everything. And he was so elated and so nice. And it was just amazing. And what I did, knowing that my mother knew that his parents went there, I said, you know what? My mother said that your parents came to see me in my Broadway show. And he said, oh, really? Which one? He said, I said, Shenandoah. He said, John Cullum. He said, I will tell you this. After we saw that performance, my sister and I used to sing your song Freedom in our living room and act like you and dance, try to mimic your dance. I was like, wow, here's this guy that's a big star and all of this, and he's humble enough to seek me out, and that was it. And it was a good one because after that, I got in a lot of FaceTime on that one.
What a compliment.
I have a very good one since Bernstein is coming up. I auditioned for a play, Broadway play, that Leonard Bernstein. He was the musical director and did the music for it, and he really wanted me bad. But the song that he wanted me to sing was so horrific in it was so horrible for a child to sing about being black. I was already in Shenandoah, which was tough too. So I said no. I turned him down. I turned down the great Leonard Bernstein, but it was a good thing because the show closed before previews. So it's a blessing. But
yeah.
it was something to you know who Leonard Bernstein is. Here you are, one-on-one with him, and he's trying to get you to take the part.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, name some of the students that came out of that school.
Oh, wow. We were very good friends back then. Vanessa L. Williams, Jennifer Aniston. There's just too many that went there. They were able to hang in there and do the grind. I wasn't able to do the grind, but they were. And it's so amazing when you see someone you went to high school with on the screen, and you're like, I went to high school with Erica Gimbel or Danny Burstein. These are great actors, and at one time we were on our campus acting together. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, you're. I'm sure it will, really.
David, elaborate on The Eyes of Tammy Faye. You had a pretty decent role in that.
Oh yeah, well, I got the role and to play B.B. Winans. So I studied the video of the song that we were going to sing up until even the way he clenched his fist. He clenched his fist downwards. So I studied him, and that song, I'm so sick of that song, but it was a blessing. Oh, as soon as I got there and we started setting up and they told us what we were going to do and wanted to make sure that we knew the song word for word and how it was going to go. And then they put costumes on us, and they put me in a red sweater. And I'm thinking, wow, this is going to be some camera time because they tell you don't wear red or certain colors. And here you are setting me up in red. And to get the camera time I did with that song was amazing. And even a highlight toward the end of that song. And the end of that scene, the Jim Baker part, he nods his head, and for some reason I nodded my head at the same time. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, that really came out good, David. I patted myself on the back on that one. But I've been so blessed. Our casting director, Tona Dalquist, she has blessed me with so many good roles. It's so amazing to have someone like that know your talent and know where to put you and know when to give you a call to say, hey, I got something for you. It's so amazing.
Yeah,
Right.
That's a good. You have that?
No, but speaking of behind the camera, when I started getting back into acting, everything was so different. When I was into acting and film, we had Panavision. They all all the digital thing. If you notice, when I was on set, I would stay focused and watch what everybody was doing because this was all new to me. Then the boom person, everything has changed. So it was like going to school for me. So I enjoyed those roles so that I could see what's going on in today's making of movies versus way back when.
Yeah.
Any parting words, Dave?
The only parting words I have is this. Like I said, Hollywood, Tony Awards, Academy Awards, Golden Globes, all have one factor in it. I was in it. So if you want a Academy Award winner, you better start looking into me.
Let me add to that, David. Please, when that happens, give me a call because I'll be ready. Just let me know, and I'll jump in the car and I'll be there with you because I think it's going to happen.
Hey, gentlemen, I want to thank you again. I really appreciate it. I love you both, and I always enjoyed our time on set. Two of my favorite fellow actors. I can't express how much I love you, and appreciate you coming on. And look forward to doing this again, maybe.
Yes, well, it's been too long. We need to be on set and get that set smile that we always have when we see each other. We always have that. Oh, we're getting ready to act, and we have that big smile on our face. Love you, Ron.
Yeah, I also love you, Ron. It's a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me, and always great getting together with both of you guys, whether it be on set or this wonderful podcast. Really, I'm wishing you both good health, and hope to see you both again real soon on the set somewhere, possibly.
And you as well. And thank you for joining us. Please subscribe, like, share, comment. Let us know what you like and what you'd like to see next, and hit the notification. It helps us a lot. Thank you very much, guys. Love you. Take care.
Thank you. Take care.